So just talk amongst yourselves. Yeah.
I'm gonna hog the mic for a second. The program committee met this past week, and one of the things that we talked about was like the feel of the room. And so we changed it and kind of made the rows more of a U-shaped as opposed to like straight, so we can see our friends just across from us or whatever. So just be mindful of that, and we put little pieces of tape and I don't know, but people are like their chairs. You know, you like arms, you don't like arms, you like the skinny one, the big one. So if you are someone that likes a particular chair, whether or not it has arms or not, please just like tell somebody. So, and we can make a little sign for you. Remember we used to do that with Burl's chair? So there's no, I like an arms and I don't need help getting up or down. So everyone's particular. So as we wait for our reader, I just put that in your mind. And you know, we've got something showing here, so that's why those are closed.
I think my reader may have stage fright and was afraid to come. So we'll just get started. Good morning and welcome to the Vashon Island Unitarian Universalists. My name is Kim Kambach and I use she, her pronouns. I'm oldish and have graying hair. I have an orange sweater on, and my backdrop is a grassy hill behind me, but today we have our blinds closed because we'll have a presentation on our screen. I do that introduction for those folks on Zoom and those of you who are present who may have visual issues and may not be able to see exactly what's happening up here. I'll be your service leader today, and if you're visiting, please participate as you feel comfortable. You're invited to stay and introduce yourself after the service when we have treats and coffee. Our service is somewhat different today because we planned on Kat being our musician, but as you know, there's a number of different communities on island, and she's a valued member of the music community, and there was a death in the music amongst musicians, and so she just felt like she couldn't make it today. So honoring that, we have changed our music to the screen. It'll be on the screen. So Kat will return to us in a few weeks. Our congregation is committed to individual freedom of belief, welcomes diversity, seeks to promote a sense of community, and fosters religion, which enriches the spirit. We're a mostly lay-led community and enriched by weaving together the volunteer contributions of our members and friends. Our community is supported and guided by our minister, Victoria Poling. As we begin our service, please take a couple of breaths to become fully present, relax, and bring your attention into this moment of communal reflection and sharing. Please place your feet flat on the floor, settle into your sit bones, close your eyes if you're comfortable, and take a few breaths in and out. Thank you. I'd like to invite Dennis forward for the land acknowledgement.
Good morning. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional homelands of the Shrubash Coast Salish Native people. The Puyallup people have lived on and stewarded these lands since the beginning of time and continue to do so today. We recognize that this land acknowledgement is one small step toward the true allyship, and we commit to uplifting the voices, experiences, and histories of the indigenous people of this land and beyond.
Thank you. I invite you to join me in a responsive reading. It is good. It is good to be. It is good to be here. It is good to be here together. I will be reading our Deep Listening by Elizabeth Cotton, and Dennis, I would like you to please light the chalice. Let us listen just for a while. Let us silence our minds and open our hearts. Just for a while, let us listen within. Listen, not to gain knowledge, not to formulate questions, rather to chance upon sacred bonds and profound wisdom, just for a while. Let us not seek information or answers. Let us not rouse the intellect, but embrace the spirit. If thoughts cloud the brain, may we let them pass. If replies tingle on the tongue, let us breathe them away silently, return to them later. But here is the precious time of sharing. Let us listen. Let the words wash over us and seep into a still, quiet pool. Let us listen. As we settle in this morning, our theme for this month is deep listening. This past week, we had the opportunity to talk about those sounds as a board, those sounds that matter to us. So as you're sitting here in this moment, think of that sound that's one of your very most favorite sounds. Now we're going to take a couple minutes, just turn to your neighbor and describe that sound to them. Go ahead. Thank you. Thank you. Come on back together. So, Catherine, now we'll hear Everything is Holy. This is a Peter Meyer song, and you may enjoy it. We're going to hear it at the beginning of the service and again at the end, so just enjoy.
each week, on Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So challenging the thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. But now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face, say it's not a testament, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament, I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Thank you.
So today we're gifted with Catherine Henderson. She has taught soul collage on island, and to some of us she taught the same course or a similar course at CBEC. Catherine is an osteopath. She weaves together spirit and healing. She's studied Jungian psychology. She's had a lot of training in all types of different aspects of soul collage, and she will enrich our service today. So I'd like to introduce Catherine to come forward, and she'll be reading and doing our presentation. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to start with a reading from John O'Donoghue, and it's called For the Artist at the Start of the Day. May morning be astir with the harvest of night, your mind quickening to the eros of a new question, your eyes seduced by some unintended glimpse that cut right through the surface to a source. May this be a morning of innocent beginning, when the gift within you slips clear of the sticky web of the personal, with its hurt and its hauntings and fixed fortress corners. A morning when you become a pure vessel for what wants to ascend from silence. May your imagination know the grace of perfect danger, to reach beyond imitation and the wheel of repetition, deep into the call of all the unfinished and unsolved, until the veil of the unknown yields and something original begins to stir towards your senses and grow stronger in your heart, in order to come to birth in a clean line of form that claims from time a rhythm not yet heard. So today I'm going to give you a little overview of what the soul collage process is. It was developed by a Jungian psychologist from Santa Cruz, California, called Sina Frost, and it's grown and grown since she developed it 25 years ago. She's now passed away, but it's now worldwide. And I'm going to show you some images of some cards that I've made and invite you to look at them in the way that we look at them in the soul collage process. So in the class, it's a playful and fun way to explore parts of yourself. And when you come to a class, you find a table of pre-cut images, which are images of people doing different things. And then you have a whole pile of different backgrounds. And you have a small 8x5 card, and you're invited to select an image from the image table that you're either really drawn to or that you may be repelled by. And then you cut it out from its existing background and then choose a new background and place it on it, making an 8x5 card. And that's half the class is card making, and then the other part of the class is reading the cards, where we ask them what they have to say, what the image now has to say. It's, of course, transformed by the new background you've given it. And you ask it, who are you? I am the one who, what is your gift to me? My gift to you is, and what do you want from me? So most often what people are making are what we call, to start with, are what we call the committee parts, which are the inner parts of ourself, like the playful child, the sad child, the nurturing mother, the distant mother. So those committee parts come out, and then there's archetypal parts that we call the council suit. And then there's a specific process for exploring the chakras and finding an animal for each chakra. And then there's the community suit, which is for cards of real people in your life. Is it descending?
Can you reach up your collar and just pull it down?
The whole thing?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll work together.
The whole thing down?
No, just like this, just so it doesn't hit you in the head.
Oh,
when you're
okay.
talking.
All right. Thank you. So the community suit is the real people, living or dead. And in that card making, you probably bring photographs of those people and then make a card about them. So that's the basic process that we go through. of the soul collage. And what I'm going to do is show some images, and then we're going to have a silent time to contemplate them. And afterwards, I'll be available for any questions at the back. I also have a sign-up sheet if you're interested to come to my classes. Now I'm going to see if I can do the PowerPoint. It's my first time doing PowerPoint, so bear with me. Okay, can everybody see that? So, when we read a card like this, we're asking, it's sort of like dream images. Here it descends again. I'm going to pull the whole thing down so I'm not distracted. Can you see, Jennifer?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So if you look first at the little boy in the corner, perhaps put your hands like that around your chin and just feel into how it is to be a wide-eyed, innocent young person looking out in the world. And what, if he came to you in a dream, what might he say to you? And then, in contrast, you've got the ancient warriors there. And again, feeling into their energy, that ancient stone they've been guarding for centuries. They have their job. They're very sturdy and strong. And just feel into how they might be if they came into your dream, what they might have to say to you. So with this example, this is the kind of way that these unconscious voices come to us. And our unconscious is so all-knowing that even if you approach your soul collage table with a life question that you want help with, it's much better to make your mind blank and just see what pops up. And it's always amazing. The synchronicities are incredible. And what can emerge. So here we have a woman dreaming into the water, and she's very fluid. Look at the willow tree behind her. She's arising out of the water, and then she's having a dialogue with this little sprite in the bottom right-hand corner. So again, feeling into, if she was to say, I am the one who, maybe I am the one who's emerging from the waters of life. I am the one who is dreaming. I am the one who's dreaming. I am the one who's coming out of the waters of life. And then the sprite answering really from the fairy kingdom, and how the conversation might go between these two figures. And here we have an ancient woman sowing the land, sowing the hills of the land. I am the one who sits and sows. I am the one who is really focused on my job. I am the one who's been sitting here for a very, very long time. And I am the one who feels the reflection of the full moon on my work. And sometimes also, we might go into other parts of the background and ask them what they have to say. So these trees and clouds on her right might have something different to contribute to the story here. This fellow I call the brain balancer. What does he have to say to you? And look at his little images on his hat. Some of them have animals on. And then his long beard that's tied into a knot. This is the list maker. I'm sure nobody here is familiar with this part. The part that wants to organize and structure, and mostly we don't do words on soul collage cards unless, they really specifically are part of the message of the card, and in this case it was. So I'm the one who's really focused on lists. I'm the one who's focused on organizing and having to keep everything going. Because if I don't stop thinking about my list, the world's going to fall apart. And here is one who's leaping over the hedge with freedom. She's really feeling the experience of her skateboard and where it might take her as she's flying through the air. And this one, I'm going to read you specifically what he had to say to me, because he came out in August. And unusually, for my experience of maybe 15 years of making soul collage cards, they usually have a very personal message for me. And this one had a community message, so I'm going to share what he had to say. I'm one who's a warrior for the earth. I have a big, difficult job to do now, and I'm seeking my allies. My red feather at my 6th chakra is calling my fellow warriors from around the world. And with my rattle, I'm sounding with the seeds of tomorrow and waking up all the seeds of potential. It's time for you to sprout and grow. Hear my call. And the background says, we're the beings of light who are supporting this growth. There's such a strong momentum now that the growth cannot stop. Change is upon us, and the awakened ones are embracing it. For his gift, he says, look at me and not the news feed you get in this culture. I am above the lies and the roller coaster. And with his pipe, I'm one who's single-focused with my messages. I'm telling the world to wake up and stop pretending. So we're just going to take a little moment of quiet to contemplate this.
Thank you, Catherine. So deep listening is the opportunity to find the sacred within ourselves and to embrace that is unknown to us unless we take time to acknowledge it. So, thank you. So we're going to sing the song found in the Gray Hymnal, number 101, Abide With Me. I don't know. I think it's 101, sorry. So please rise in body or spirit as you're comfortable.
Abide with me, fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens, still with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts me, help of the helpless soul, abide with me. Swift to its close, ebbs out life's little day. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay in all around I see. O thou who changes not, abide with me. I fear no foe, with thee at hand to bless. Ills have no weight, and tears no bitterness. Where is death's sting? Where grave thy victory? I triumph still if thou abide with me. I triumph still if thou abide with me.
Thank you. So everything is falling apart, not just that. Okay. So anyway, now is the time in our service when we pause the recording for Joyce Day goes to support our beloved community. And so at this time, I'd like the greeters to come forward and collect our offering. As we sing, we give thanks. Play that one? Okay. Someone else should start because I start off key. We give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here, and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here, and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Rick. So our closing reading, we read by Cynthia as I extinguish our chalice. So Cynthia, please come forward.
the echo of inner wisdom. We extinguish this chalice as we remember the light within, and know that the hunger we feel inside is an echo of inner wisdom that wants something more for us, for others, and for this weary yet wonderful world.
So now, once again, we're going to listen to Peter Mayer sing Everything is Holy, and if you want to hum along, please feel free.
When I was a boy, each week on Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. Now I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So challenging the thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. But now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face, say it's not a testament, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament, I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy. Thank you.
Thank you to all of you who helped with this service today, to Dennis, to Cynthia, to Catherine, to Kat in her absence. Thank you so much to Catherine Henderson for being here. And I just would offer that please come and join us after fellowship to talk some more. So now is the time, if you have an announcement related to a VIUU activity, please come forward and announce that thing.
I'm Pamela Gott, and I've been asked to make an announcement about next Sunday's service. It's going to be about Listen to Your Longings, led by Dune, a meditation for the congregation to consider their own habitual shaping of their nervous system in response to stress and trauma, an embodied experience of what it's like to shift our nervous systems to something more spacious than our habitual response shape. This will reinforce how the need for this is present in each of us, and if we take the time to work with our systems in this way, a whole lot more of us would be showing up in the world with more capacity, how we would be raising children differently and engaging with each other differently. So I hope you'll come next week.
Hi, I'm Earl, and this is a message to Sit Up Team number 2. Pam and I won't be here for that in November, so come prepared.
I'm Beth, and in regards to my candle for Dennis and Maya, I know many of you probably don't know them very well. They're quiet, they sit in the back, they're lovely human beings. And I invite you to think about the fact that how can each of you do something very small but very loving as part of this congregation for them. I have a sign-up sheet here for 4 days of dinners just for Dennis for the coming week. And then underneath here in the red is Maya's address. And all you have to do is get your camera, take a picture, and go home and find a card and send it to her. She really would like that. So they are abundantly grateful to the congregation for all that we've done so far, and they still need us, so.
Hey, I'm Robbie. So this is a repeat reminder that there is something that you can do for the election still. You can, of course, give money, and you can also write postcards. And I also want to give thanks to Jean. Can you just wave so people know? Jean is the person whose house we go to pick up postcards. And John, oh, I'm sorry, the both of them. And it's such an amazing gift to us to know. And Beth does it here for us too. Thank you, Beth, wherever you are, there you are. Anyway, for another week maybe, we're still postcarding, and it's such a great experience. I mean, I actually feel like, you know, when I write, my favorite part is writing the names and the addresses on them, and I think, you know, maybe when that person gets this, they'll feel some sense of connection with somebody, maybe, you know? So it's kind of fun, actually. So thank you, guys, for doing that. And I also, since I was going to be up here, I want to cheat a little bit and just say it's another kind of joy. But when I was listening to the song at the end about everything is holy, and there was something about children, I remember the last couple of times I was on the ferry, and I saw children, just little kids, whose faces were just like a light, you know, just like, I don't know. And I walk when I go on the ferry, like one of those old people at the mall, going round and round. And that means every time I go around, I get to see the faces. And I was thinking, God almighty, what a life, you know, like, where else do you get to go where you can just walk around and look at people's faces without having to worry about it. So when you get sick of the ferry and are kind of cursing all those, remember that the ferry also has something amazing to give us for those of you who want to go up and look around at the other people there. It's an unusual opportunity to see people as they are. So everything is holy now. So.
I would like to thank Kim for the service and choosing the wonderful music that she chose today. It's very good. And to let you know that she's not going to be with us for a while. She's going on an epic train trip across the country, east and back. So she's going to be gone for a while. And now I want to invite you to an exquisite, wonderful potluck. I was trying to think. Potluck on the 31st of October at noon here, all right, to celebrate Halloween. Come with a costume. I'm going to come as myself. I think that's ghoulish enough.
Yeah, the potluck, Victoria mentioned she'll be here that day. She's not usually here on that particular Thursday, but she'll be here for lunch. And so she's hoping that lots of people will turn up for the lunch potluck. We were trying to do some of them that were not at night, so us old folk don't have to drive in the dark so much. But that's not in my announcement. So I'm Kate, and as your local obsessive, I will mention that we've really been working on kind of stepping up our game on greeting. So I appreciate all of those who are participating. I will encourage everybody to try to remember to sign yourself in. Last week I wasn't here, so I didn't just sign everybody in. And only 28 people were signed in, and I sent out a message to everybody who was on the greeting team saying, gee, that was really only 28 people? Usually we have a lot more than that. And so after I sent out various lists and said, did you see so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so? They often come. Our list worked up to 45. So a lot of you are not too good at remembering to sign yourself in, partly so we know who's been here, partly in case we have a COVID exposure. I will, honestly, send out an email to everybody who was here, letting you know that there is possible exposure. We did that once last year, almost twice. So if you'd like to know whether you've been exposed to COVID at church, that's another reason to sign in. And we do encourage all of our visitors who aren't on the pre-printed list to sign themselves in again. The other thing related is that for the last 6 months or so, our name tag board has been in some chaos because after many years of filing people by last name, somebody changed it to filing by first name. So we've been kind of half and half, which makes it pretty hard for people to remember where the name tag is. We are requesting people to officially switch over to filing by the first name. I think that's easier for the greeters to grab your name tag and hand it to you. And it's easier if we all pick the same system. So I know Unitarians don't like following rules, but it would be nice if you follow that custom. Thank you.
So as you listen to the announcements, remember, everything is holy now. Even where your holy name tag goes. Okay, that's the end of our service. Enjoy your coffee. Thank you so much for coming.